Hi, this is Amy from With Love by Amy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are making a card with a sort of take on a double stamping technique that Jennifer McGuire did. And I didn't have a fall leaf stamp, so I went outside and grabbed some leaves off of one of my trees. And we're going to take these leaves. My initial thought was to take the biggest one, get some ink on it, and then stamp it down and get a different color and stamp it down in a smaller leaf. But as you're going to see here, my ideas didn't work out so well. And I don't know if it's because the leaves were too dry, because I did this a couple years ago, and it turned out beautifully. But I'm guessing these leaves must have been too dry, or maybe I should have just done this with a stamp pad instead of messy ink all over my desk. I don't know. But my first attempt at stamping, well, it looks like a murder scene right here, right now. So I don't know. And look at my hands. Yeah, they stayed like that for 3 days. So we're trying real hard to get the ink everywhere, but I feel like I keep pushing the ink into the leaf and it's not working so well. But we're going to keep going just because it is what it is, you know? Like, we're going to give it a shot. So yeah, here we are, being really, really slow. But I'm making this card as a take on Jennifer McGuire's like throwback technique for this month, which is double stamping. And I also am going to use this card for the monthly discovery hop. So that one looks pretty good. Not too shabby. Not perfect, but not too shabby. I really think I should have done it with an ink pad. So that's what we're going to try. Next, we're trying not to make our hands look less or more crazy with, so we're using a scrap piece of paper over the stamp pad. It's kind of working. I kind of wonder how this technique would actually work if I had a stamp, a leaf stamp. So, of course, when I'm doing this technique, I'm like, ooh, let me Google leaf stamps. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of options out there. So we might be buying some. We'll see. So we're trying to line up the smaller leaf, which maybe that was part of my issue. Maybe I should have just done the same leaf in different colors. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't, the yellow doesn't show up as much as I thought it would. But it turns into more of a mess the more I do this. So here I put some water on the leaf to try to make it show up more. And it didn't really work. Disappointingly enough, it didn't work that well. So, and I am doing this on watercolor paper. So I thought maybe if I tried this on different paper, it would work better. So really this project was a whole lot of trial and error because now we're just going to tap it down into the ink pad. See if that helps. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to make it look cool. And I want it to still look like a leaf, sort of, when I'm done. But this won't get inky enough either. Kind of, sort of. All right, so we're going to give this one a shot. We're spraying it with water first to see if it works. And then there we go. We are rubbing it in. This is Catherine Pooler Tiara ink. And we're going to see how that turns out. Not too bad. Not too bad. But then I'm like, could I do it better? So, next try. We get regular ink and regular cardstock and Distress Oxide inks. Actually, no, just kidding. This is the opposite color of the watercolor paper, or the opposite side of the watercolor paper. And we're going to try it again with the same leaves. And yes, this also makes my fingers a giant mess. Even though I believe this is the next day, we're still turning my fingers into like a murder scene. So yeah, here we are trying this again. I put the Distress Oxide ink onto the glass work surface and then I sprayed it with a little bit of water. Still not working the greatest. I am not sure how I did this technique several years ago and made it look awesome because so far this is not giving the result that I was hoping. But it's fun. I'm having fun. And I tried something that's been on my agenda for a while. Yeah, here I am. It's taking me way too long. I keep looking at it. I'm like, how is it still missing ink everywhere? So we're going to use our little scrap of paper and we're going to rub it down again. See if this works. Oh, then we're going to use our pressure tool. See if that gets any more of an even transfer of the ink. And that looks pretty cool. I like that. The only thing I don't like is the splotchy of the ink in certain spots, but it is what it is. So now we are going to move on. And we're going to add purple to the orange. I'm not sure why. I don't know why I didn't just clean up the purple or the orange first and then do the purple. But here we go, mixing it all around. Didn't add water to it. I don't know. My thought process here is kind of mishmash, I guess. Oh yeah, look, it's getting all purpley. Cool, cool. Same leaf. We're not switching up the leaves here. So I guess this is technically true layered inking because we're not trying to change the size of the leaf this time. So we are just going to line it up as good as we can. Because obviously this is a leaf. It's not even a stamp. So we're doing the best we can. And we got our scrap of paper over there. And that little scrap of paper just gave away a hint as to what the next video is going to be. Ooh, that's really cool. I like that. Splotchy ink and all. It looks really cool. So this is going to be what we're going to go with. And we're going to not waste the ink that we have left over. We're going to make another background with it. Spray it with some water. Put a cardstock on it. Spray it with some more water. Get all the extra spots. Because, you know, we don't like to waste our supplies as crafters. We don't like to waste anything. Literally, I have videos about turning stuff that should be garbage into cards. So there we go. There's what we end up with for a background. And so now that little splotch in the right corner, I didn't record it, but I tried to like punch out a teeny tiny leaf with an old punch and how to punch it out of acetate and see if I could turn that into a stamp. Yeah, that didn't work. That was a stupid idea. So I was like, well, now that it didn't work, I can't use the card background as it is. So I'm going to fussy cut this out and just use it as a leaf on a card. And I'm digging this idea. I think this is probably the best way to use this double stamped leaf that I've created here. And we're just going to cut it all out. Ooh, I like this. This looks really cool. It's kind of like more mixed media that I'm used to. But here we're going to make a background on this card panel. We're going to do a craft card panel. And we've taped the card panel to the door of the MISTI. And since it's a red rubber stamp, we have it in the bottom part of the MISTI. And I don't know if it's the ink pad or this old stamp. It's like the wood grain stamp. But it doesn't want to ink up everywhere. It doesn't need to be 100%, but I just was like getting annoyed with it because it didn't want to ink up. And if you see up there in the upper left-hand corner, I must have forgotten to record it, but I have little brads that I'm going to put in the card. And you see I already punched the holes. And then I decided I was going to, decorate the card panel because it looked too plain. So those little brads, there's a light yellow, a medium yellow, and an orange that I'm going to line up in those little holes on the corner of the card. And now we are going to clean off our stamp. And I like to make sure that I notate when I'm using my stamps because I pulled this out of my bin of stamps that I hadn't used in over a year. So I am going to get a Post-it note after I cleaned it and it's all dried off. I'm going to put a Post-it note on the back of it and write the date that I used it on there. And then it's going to go back into rotation in my normal craft bin. I did start that project on the beginning of the year. So since we are approaching the end of the year, there's not too many stamps left in there. So I think at the end of the year, I'm probably going to end up and go through what's left. And if I don't think I'm still going to use it, then I'm going to get rid of the stuff. But here's the finished product. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you so much and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to come back soon. Bye.